So we're going to head on over there right now. Fnatic is actually looking a little sore after that first game. 9 minutes, 51 seconds. Wow. Actually, that's a lie. By the end of it all, game time inclusive, 10 minutes and 3 seconds for that win. But what a very aggressive lineup from Gamers2. And they dealt with that Illidan so very well. It's really hard to say that the Illidan comp, I mean, they had their strength, but it was all rooted in the late game. And Gamers2 knew that, and they took not only the Zagara, but the Vala, the Sergeant Hammer. They had the Giant Killers. If they had gone to 16, the Executioners would have come out. They had such an aggressive early game lineup, and they were able to pull it out flawlessly. So, will we see Sky Temple again? Fnatic says no. Garden of Terror and Fnatic Sky Temple bans. Blackheart's Bay and Cursed Hollows out for Gamers2. So we're either going to Dragonshire or Haunted Mines. And I think that's going to be Fnatic's choice. So they're going to get this last ban. I suspect we're going to the Dragon, and we are. Gamers2 then should actually have the first pick, as we're about to find out here. But Dragonshire, once again, if we have this earlier game lineup from them, you could see some really interesting sieging maneuvers on top of the points, not only the top, but the bottom as well. And if that is going to be the case, then Gamers2 will pick out for a little bit more early. This is a really good map for Sergeant Hammers. It's a really good map for Zagaras. So I fully expect to see at least one of the Siege Sisters there picked up for Gamers2. But, Fnatic, they went with the Illidan comp and it fell flat. You could go for the Illidan comp here on Dragonshire, but it's a bit of a smaller map and there's less room to play around with. So some teams dislike going that because the Illidan comp is very much about, body blocks and chasing and using space to your advantage, the parkour nature of the Illidan. You can really win some prolonged team fights with it, in theory. Dragonshire doesn't really give you as much space to play around with. So will we see an Illidan? Well, it depends if Fnatic is going to ban it. Now, we do got the Lost Vikings repeat ban here from Gamers2. It really threw Shinobu a loop last time because Fnatic first banned the Jaina. So whatever they were trying to do, apparently it didn't include a Jaina, but it probably included the Vikings. So there's no Vikings today, and it will be once more the Jaina pick, the Jaina ban, I should say, from Fnatic. So Gamers2 is in the driver's seat now. What do they want to prioritize? As I said, Vala, Sergeant Hammer, Zagara, all safe picks. Fnatic went with the first pick, Tyrande, last round. They could snipe that here if Gamers2 is more interested in that. Instead of perhaps a triple DPS, go with a Bruiser. That would also deny it out from Fnatic, but they're very happy just to pick up the Battle Cow. So they will continue on with an ETC as their front line. Will Fnatic once more try the Illidan into the dark? Something tells me no. It's a very powerful pick, but on this map, I'd be surprised to see if Fnatic wanted to try it again. They do have 2 picks available to them here. So if they do go for the Illidan, could be an Illidan Rhaegar. If they don't, perhaps a Tyrande Vala, Tyrande Zeratul. What are some of the other big picks right now that you'd like to see on the Fnatic? If it's not going to be a Sergeant Hammer, I suspect Gamers2 will take it. They're thinking about it. I've now joined the game. Sorry about that. So hopefully we will have a straight from the draft into the game. But Fnatic is on the pool time. They're thinking. What do they want to throw? What are they expecting out of Gamers2? If Fnatic doesn't go for a Sergeant Hammer, you can almost expect Gamers2 to do that. So to try to discourage that, going to get a Tyrande. Safe pick. It's exactly what Fnatic did last round. I believe, though, at this stage, Fnatic had 2 picks, so they went with the Illidan Rhaegar. I can't imagine they're going to, and they're not. They're actually going to take the Tyrande Uther. So they still actually could go into an Illidan then. They got the Hunter's Mark, and now they've taken one of those stun wombos away from Gamers2. If you recall, it was Maw into Mosh Pit into Divine Storm, or some variation of that from last round from Gamers2. So if it is going to be a 2-pick phase, could have been a Zagara Uther, go for exactly the same kind of setup. So Fnatic's going to take it away. It still puts them open to an Illidan. Vala for the backline here of Gamers. Will this be a Zagara? Will this be a Sergeant Hammer? Will this be one of our supports? With 2 supports already taken from Fnatic, there's not really a lot of onus on Gamers2 to kind of, go forward with that support. They're almost guaranteed a Malfurion or a Rhaegar at this point. If Gamers2 is afraid of an Illidan comp, they'll take a Rhaegar here. Then it will be an Illidan and probably a Tassadar for Fnatic, if that's what they want to go. Gamers2, of course, could easily go for the Tassadar for the exact same reason, and then get a Malfurion on the back of it. I suspect they'll go damage, though. They seem like a very big damage kind of team. We saw aggressive early game from the last round. It won them out very effectively. Zagara, Nazeebo, both very big damage specialists this patch. Maybe not Nazeebo, now I think about it. I mean, the Tyrande stun, the Uther set of stuns, doesn't really lend itself very well to a Ravenous. You could go to the Gargantuan, but, I mean, I can't even think of a Gargantuan that has won a game that I've personally seen. I know it's out there, but in the competitive circles, I can't think of any big victories with a Gargantuan as of late. We're still dipping into this pool time. We're going late, going deep. Gamers2 really deciding their options here. Support, tank, DPS, specialist. They're going to take the Illidan. Okay. Wow. I have to wonder, is this a deny? Is Gamers2 going to pull out something fierce in the back of it? They got the ETC. It's a great diving buddy to go with the Illidan. Likely to see a stage dive with this many stuns already on the roster from Fnatic. But the ETC going in, the attack speed bonus from his Rockstar aura. He's good. I mean, it's a great diving setup. In terms of a counter tank, then from Fnatic, we got Diablo, Chen. Both of those would go good for splitting up the comp. Fnatic needs to get a backline DPS. Could they go for the Zagara here and just maw somebody? Will they take away the maw possibility from Gamers2? A Nazeebo? Maybe not so much. A Sergeant Hammer, Fnatic could easily go for a Sergeant Hammer on the back. Get that range DPS, that steady DPS. Tychus is a very big pick up against Illidans as well. It's kind of sad that we don't really see too much more of Raynor, Nova. The Jaina's already banned out. Kerrigans, I mean, we just don't really see them nearly as much as we used to. The meta has really moved away from them in that regard. I remember when Nova actually used to be ban-worthy a few months ago. That was fun. It will be the Sergeant Hammer into the backline here from Fnatic. So they're going to get steady damage, steady push. They need a tank, and they need another DPS, I want to say. They got the Uther, they got the Tyrande. There is a Rhaegar still left on the table, and I'm not too sure Fnatic's comfortable giving that away. But if they go triple support again, Gamers2 is going to pile on the damage. So they might just have to eat it, and they will. It will be the Stitches. Almost guaranteed we're seeing a Rhaegar here from Gamers2. But what will the last pick be? More damage with a Zagara, with a Zeratul. Well, you won't see a double melee, I don't think. Could it be the Tassadar for the Bruiser? Abathur! Oh, my lord! Illidan, Abathur, Rhaegar. Will this be an Ultimate Evolution Illidan? Are we going to have 2 Illidans on the board? 2 Valas on the board? Oh, my word. I am super interested to see how this is going to go. Abathur did get a little bit of, not a huge amount of changes this last patch, but I've definitely played him a little bit in Hero League. Well, not Hero League, Quick Match. I've played him in some Quick Match, and he can still be a very effective split pusher, split soaker. But wow. All right. Could Fnatic go for the Zeratul? Go hunting. Could you go for the Nova? You already got the Tyrande there with the Owl. Shadowstalk? No. All right, so it's not going to be any kind of stealth play. I don't think they're really going to go for the hunting Abathur, but it will be a Tychus to deal with possibly 2 Illidans now. Oh my. This is super interesting to me. Everybody's now into the lobby, so it looks like the game will be starting momentarily, but how will this Abathur build? Attack speed on Symbiote. Carapace heal on Symbiote. Could it be Toxic Minds? Will it just be a bit more of a battle Symbiote with charges in stab, spike burst heals, movement speed on Carapaces? Very curious to see how this Abathur will go. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be game number 2. Fnatic and Gamers2. Last round, I said Fnatic had a fantastic Illidan squad. They got shut down early. Now we don't really have an Illidan squad here from Gamers2. It's really going to come down to what Rhaegar and Abathur can show off, more or less. But, I mean, Vala in the back. You got ETC. Could it be double ETC? I mean, there's so many options available to this clone. Maybe it's not even going to be a clone. Maybe it'll be a split push. Doesn't really feel like a good map for the split pushing monstrosity. But it doesn't have a timer on it anymore. The Ultimate Evolution as well, the clone, it's perfected. Has extra stats. And having an Illidan with extra stats running around that can just soak up all of those hits. I mean, you can't Metamorphosis, but it's definitely something to think about. What if Abathur Metamorphosis is... or what if he clones a metamorphosed Illidan? I wonder if he gets those attack speed bonuses. I don't know. I'm really hard to call this one. I was dead wrong on game number 1. Gamers2 just used their comp extremely well to push out before the Illidan comp could even become viable. Could Fnatic do the same thing here? They got the double support, but Tyrande can definitely pump out the damage. The Hunter's Mark, Tychus, the Sergeant Hammer. I mean, you could delete somebody out of this. If Abathur gets caught almost from any of these heroes, he's going to go down. No, except maybe Uther. Maybe not Uther. It's hard to call. Hard to call. It doesn't look like Gamers2 actually knows who's going to be on the Vala right now. They got 2 Vala players locked in. That's kind of funny. It still should only be a few minutes here, guys. But take this time to let you know, Alienware, Roka, Gosugamers, all the sponsor titles here for the Alienware Enter the Storm Cup number 1, Qualifier number 3. If you guys have been enjoying the coverage, I am usually joined by a co-caster, but unfortunately, real life issues did prevail today. So not exactly used to the solo cast. But if you do like what you see, like what you hear, of course, hit me up on the Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Forecourt Jester, just find me out there. Do quite a bit of this stuff, but definitely prefer to have a co-caster with me. Going to be doing some Go for Heroes a little bit later on as well, so maybe we'll see you there. But, Cup number 3, this could be match point. This could bring our coverage to a close, which means that this would be a 2-0 sweep for Gamers2 if that does occur. If this does go to a game number 3, then the Fnatic lineup just has to absolutely, try to capitalize on this Abathur, this Illidan, the solo heal Rhaegar. Statistically, the solo heal Rhaegar loses far more, I should say, than it wins. It's up to Gamers2 to use their strengths. I'm curious to see what's going to happen at level 10. Looks like we are actually ready to go. So the good luck, have fun has been signaled, and we're going to get into game number 2 of our finals, guys. This could be the last game, and remember, qualifier for registration in 2 days. Make sure you're there because it's your last chance to get in for some of these epic prizes provided by our sponsors. Whew, Dragonshire, man. All about them shrines. Them shrines, no dragon. Abathur as a body. One thing that Gamers2 does have going for them is that Abathur, I mean, he can split soak during dragons. He could also tunnel in and become a dragon, especially if there's nobody into those mid lanes. Can't imagine he'd go super aggressive, though, because when he pops out, it's really easy to squish worms. But it could be the surprise factor there with a 4-man push and then the Abathur on the back of it. They get their damage done. He goes back, deep tunnels back out. Could be an interesting way to go. Either way, boys in blue once more. Team Fnatic going to be here on the left-hand side. Kessel, Shinobu, Lowell, Freds, and Ace of Spades. Possibly going for a 5-man stack in the beginning here. But on the flip side, the guys are up 1-0, looking for match point. G2, Gamers2, Saichu, Nicker, Joe, Leo from Korea, and in the back, 80 Artie on the Abathur. It is the 5-man squad into the mid here. Freds is going to show himself. A little bit of damage is going to go down both sides here, but it's going to be a little bit of a ping pong. I suspect Freds will be going into the top lane. With the Stitches, I don't really see them doing a lot of roaming with it, but looks like it's going to be Lowell holding down the top up against the Illidan. Tychus against Illidan. I mean, that definitely does favor that Lowell, for sure. It's going to see what Joe can do up against the Lowell. Freds is just holding down the mid. We clean out the 5. We go into the bottom with the 3. Kessel, Ace, and Shinobu They're gonna ping pong. Are they gonna ping pong? Looks like they are. But we do got Abathur like little mini wards now starting up. Ace is gonna go in for the stun. Looking for the hook. We are. It's not gonna connect. The Abathur might be able to help just hinder the movements by continually mining up these mids. It will at least track the rotations of Fnatic for Gamers2. Will they rotate top? Very likely not. Looks like ADRD is just content to throw down his Locust in the mid for now as well. But between Kessel, Spades, and Shinobu, so far their wave clear is proving a little bit too much for G2. They're not really able to advance up this mostly empty lane. But it looks like Shinobu will now just hold down the fort. It's going to just continually pound on that. Joe and Low have done a little bit of dueling. Looks like Joe's currently in the lead there. And the top shrine has actually not been contested at all. Here comes the roam, the double support. They have no idea they're in the bushes, which is funny. Shinobu's going to get bullied out of this bottom. And if, yeah, Joe found him, found the ace. Ace just eating it. Not entirely too sure he's paying attention. But the top right now will firmly go into the blue possession. It will not be any kind of dragon threat this early on. They're just going to play do-si-do with the shrines. Here comes the level 4s coming out. Melting Point from Lowell. Love it. As a NA player, absolutely love melting points on the Ildens. You got the Maelstrom shells there from Shinobu, so he has that extra range. It's going to be used very defensively for now. Joe going back into the top. Looks like he's going to capture that point pretty much uncontested. Yeah, well, we're not going to do anything about it. We do got a lot of pings down here into the Merc, so a little bit of rotation. Oh, this is not the rotation they wanted. Oh, there's no owl as well. Saichu, very cheeky. Picks up the very early dragon, the 2-minute 45 dragon. We don't know what Stitches wants at level 4, which is fine. We do got the healing ward there, XD from the Open Korea, yeah. A little cheeky. Nobody is really going to suffer too much. I mean, the Dragon Knight will try to push up against these 3, and he's not really going to get a lot done because there's no support. It's really more about the other lanes. What are they doing? And they are just continuing to push in, continuing to sow. So, in the long run, I don't think this Dragon's really going to matter too much. It might get a tower, and it might, at best, only get a tower. You can already see it suffering pretty heavily. Lowell's going to come down here. They're looking for the kill on top of the battle cow, but they're not going to get it. And yeah, overall, nothing happened. Nothing really. I mean, the dragon will go back to rest, and we have a little bit of breathing room from both sides, but no real advantages grabbed this early on. These teams know how to deal with these early dragons. No problem there. So on the flip side, the level 4 towns, I mean, Immolation, we got, Rancor and Manticore coming out from our Vala. It's a single attack damage nicker on that Vala. So Searing attacks likely to see at level 7 in just a moment. Pressurized Glands for the Spike Burst, and Symbiote Host gains 25% attack speed. So it is the Adrenal Overload. You're very likely to see it on Joe quite a bit more than anybody else, but it also goes very well here for the Vala. Extra attack speed means extra damage with that Rancor, with that Manticore. There's the Searing attacks on this single target Vala. And now Saichu, yeah, him and the Abahat is going to be able to take home a tower. It's going to put us up a bit of experience this early on. I don't quite think we'll be 10 by the time we can get our first dragon. But so far, the Abathur pressure is evenly spread out between the different lanes, helping out the DPS a good bit, especially in terms of survivability. And yeah, Nicker, I mean, you're going to be able to trade out, but you're not going to win because of the support healing there. Lowell, it does not want to deal with an Illidan Abathur combo. The Tychus likes to bully out that Illidan, but not with an Abahat. The Abahat really makes him another order of strength higher. So, Vile Nest for movement speed. Didn't see that one coming. But as I said, if you're trying to just, keep these up in these bushes, the movement speed slow could go a long way to dampening rotations. Also knocks them off the mounts there as well. So, Ace of Spades into the front, just trying to provide this front line here for Shinobu. Not going to be it from Saichu, just gets hit by the concussive blast from Shinobu. And it will be the bottom. Shrine going blue, top going red. Once more going back and forth, do-si-do. Nearly level 9 for the teams. Level 7 talents, as you see. I mean, we got the cleanse, Lunar Blaze coming out. Doesn't actually affect the radius anymore. Just increases the range of Lunar Flare by 50%. So, Saichu is going to be caught out here. The CC train is massive. Not AFK now? Well, perhaps if you'd like to. Well, sure. But, yeah, Saichu is... If he gets out of this, that would be super impressed. No, not with that extra range. That extra range on the stun almost sealed the deal right there. Tenderizer for more slows, and Red actually going to go the way of top and bottom. The last out Saichu, so there's no pressure here mid for a Dragon, but Joe and Leo? Alright, both of them not entirely too sure who wants to run it, but the interference should be enough here. We don't have an Owl, and Leo from Korea will get the second Dragon of the game. That's 2 for 2 now, G2. And we got the level 10s. It is Ultimate Evolution. Will be double Vala, will be double Illidan. Very curious to see which way this will go for our Abathur player. And it is actually going to be double Abathur for now. It's going to keep low there at the back, but it does not live very long at all. Space is created. Joe and Nicker should be able to pick up the tower. Mid gate has been cleared out by Leo. And Shinobu has been dealing with Saichu bottom. But still, Saichu is even going to force out the mount there. Will this be a top shrine, or a top fort, I should say? I don't think so. Not with the pressure coming in here from Fnatic. Leo from Korea will get off some damage, and he's going to be a big target. In fact, he's even going to get hooked back in. But will this be a kill on Leo? No, absolutely not. It will stop out the fort, which is cool, but yeah. The Dragons have not been super impactful. They're still super early. I mean, second Dragon by 7 minutes in. It's still very squishy. But still, space is created, and a lot of towers are now down. We're looking at almost an entire level lead for Gamers2 as they go into almost level 12 now at the 7-minute mark. So to finish off the heroics, Strafe, Ancestral Stage Dive, we have the laser, the Draken laser drill from our Tychus players. So not going to be an Odin, no giant killers here. It does put us in a little bit of a situation because with the Tychus and the laser, if he puts it down and Gamers2 just retreats, it's a wasted heroic. If they fight on it, they can kill it. If they fight on it and it lives, it can pump out some amazing amount of damage. That'll be damage that Joe, for example, cannot avoid. So it's really going to be up to Fnatic to try to make sure that they use it at the right times. Leo from Korea has been off the map for a little bit. He's been in this bottom lane. And there he goes. He is going to pick up those bruisers. Just a little bit too late here from Fnatic, but yeah, even Shinobu won't be able to get off a concussive blast just to delay. We got double Illidan top. I just saw it on the mini-map, and Tychus is not having a good day. But oh, poor Tychus. Not only does he want an AFK, now he's dead to the clone. And we got pings going down saying, guys, there's going to be a free fort up here unless somebody comes. It looks like Ace and Kessel are going to be the response, but Low and the Abathur, the attack speed is mounting up, and there goes the first fort of the game. Soma Transference is the burst kill on Spike Burst. So not only is it going to be much harder to kill Illidan with that attack speed coming out, but now he has Spike Burst healing, which goes very well with the pressurized land. You know, increases the range by 25%, decreases cooldown by 1, which means more healing available to whoever he decides to symbiote. Giant Killer coming out, so you know, going with that single target build on the Vala. You put an Abathur hat on that Vala, ooh, she is going to start hurting. Barrel Lunge coming out here from Leo from Korea and the Uber Rockstar as well. Level 13 now achieved here for the Fnatic. They're not quite down multiple levels. Look at ADRD into the top, deep tunneling in, going for that shrine. This is going to be massive. There's nobody mid. We need an owl. Where's the Tyrande owl? Here it comes, way too late. And Joe is able to pick up that quick Dragon Knight as well. And this is now 3 for 3. 3 dragons in a row for Gamers2. They've maintained that experience lead for a good while now. We do got the collapse on top of the dragons, losing out its hit points, but at the same time, Gamers2 in the bottom lane is just starting to rack up that damage. Where is the clone? The clone is nowhere to be found. ADRD is just holding down top, but, well, holding down possibly a loose term. The collapse from mid coming into the bottom lane. The Lunar Flare not able to hit. The damage is starting to mount up here on top of Fred. Fred's in that single target build from Vala, takes him home, gets the kill. The Ancestral is on point, and Saichu will live for the 2-man kill. Kessel not looking so hot. Here comes Joe. He's not going to be able to help clean up, but Shinobu and Kessel on the retreat. They might pay for it with Lowell into the top lane. I mean, there's nothing Abathur can really do there. Oh no, we had the evolution, and now AD is oh yeah, he's gone. That was a little bit of an oversight coming out there from our Abathur player, but now we got Sideshoe there with that stage dive. We got Illidan now coming in from the side. Joe, not entirely too sure who he was after, perhaps looking for Lowell, but Lowell was not there. There goes the Tychus. They traded out for that Abathur, but still damage was done. Mid is gone, bottom is gone. Multiple kills going the way of G2. It's 4 kills to 2.25 after that ultimate evolution, but c'est la vie. Level 16 now achieved. Look at those talents coming out. Locust, Brood. So the free Locust, you can now really start seeing some offensive play coming out from the Abathur as soon as he tunnels in, wherever he's going to tunnel. Where did he tunnel? Yeah, he did tunnel top. There's those 3 Locusts immediately. So that's a great pushing maneuver. He can be off team fighting while his Locusts help split push other lanes. We do have the Earth Grasp Totem, not blood for blood. I almost expected to see a double blood for blood between the Illidan as well as the Rhaegar, just for that burst potential, but we're going to go for the Earth Grasp. Keep that Tychus in range. Keep that Sergeant Hammer in range. We don't have a ton of mobility options available with the Tyrande. With that Uther. Uther has no sprint at level 13 anymore. Yeah, well, the Tyrande does, but it's very situational. Even with a sprint, it won't cleanse out the slow. So even with that 90% initial slow, it's yeah, it's c'est la vie. It is c'est la vie. Relentless coming out for the tank. We do got the Giant Killer there on the Sergeant Hammer. Pretty much expected. Now we got the 16 talents here as well from Gamers2. But we got Shrines in 25. The map positioning is overwhelmingly in the favor of G2. And you can see that they're starting to paint this map. They got the Bruisers pushing top. They're going to have Bruisers pushing bottom. This way too late there, guys, from Fnatic. The timings are just that much off. Sideshoe is doing some really good zoning. Abathur into this top lane could very likely get that top shrine in 2 seconds, but he's going to decide to push forward instead. Everybody is accounted for here from Fnatic, except perhaps Lowell now. He's been off the map for a little bit. But with these Bruisers, with the Stone Bros pushing in, I mean, there's absolutely no way we have the positioning from Fnatic to do anything about this Dragon Knight. AD into the top. We already have the bottom, and Illidan once more will become the Dragon Knight for Gamers2. The Owl just too little too late. Hits Joe immediately, but it does not do the interrupting job it was meant to. Level 16 talents on both sides. Fishing Hook, the double Stone Skin. Forcing a Sergeant Hammer into Stone Skin is something to be said right there. Leo from Korea is going to be the big target. He did have the Ancestral ready to go, but he is still dead nonetheless. Too much damage to deal with. The Abathur is still pushing down the top while the Dragon Knight in through are getting a lot of focus bottom. Wow, the hooks! The hooks into the stun. The fishing is good from Freds. That is going to be the Vala. 2 kills, 0. Gamers2 not going to get anything done with this Dragon Knight. The Abathur is now going to be backing up a little bit. As I said, he's been pushing in. These guys are out of ammo. And if Fnatic don't do anything about it here into the top lane, then it will be a kill on those gates. And that is just more experience in the pocket of Gamers. So not going to happen. Shinobu holding down the bottom. AD with that Locust is going to not really give away his positioning at all, but Joe will not be able to pick up Shinobu. He was thinking of it. He couldn't quite get the positioning there. And we're going to have a little bit of a lull here, 14 minutes in. Let's take a look at the damage numbers going back and forth. Vala up in front. Not a surprise. Auto-attacked Vala when she continually auto-attacks and fights. Can really rack up that damage, especially with that searing. But on the flip side, here's damage here from Shinobu is good, but Shinobu is dead. There he goes. We had Joe actually throw down the Metamorphosis. I think it perhaps was a little bit too early, but it will provide that escape mechanism for him. He will live to see another day. Sideshoe and Leo from Korea, they're thinking, yeah, we can take these, and it looks like they will. The hook will actually hit Joe. Doesn't have that meta ready to go anymore. We got the Abathur hat there, though. We did have the heal from Leo from Korea. Spades is now going to be the kill on top of that Uther. And now with that new Uther, he cannot do any kind of big offensive maneuvers, so he's just going to run around and heal as a ghost. 20 seconds left on Sergeant Hammer, 45 on Uther. We should have shrines coming up in the next few seconds here as well. So the positioning is good for Gamers2. ADRD with that double Illidan. They're going in, they stop that retreat path from Kessel. They can't quite get the kill, but they're looking now on top of Lowell. Looks like Stitches is actually going to be the collateral as he drops. Kessel will live, Lowell will be okay as well. ADRD and that Ultimate Evolution are gone. But that just means an Abathur hat comes out here from Nicker, and that is 25% more attack speed on an auto attack Vala, which is level 20 hype now for Gamers2. We got still several dead here from Fnatic. They're going to go for the core, and why not? You got the attack speed and the symbiote hat there from Joe. It's going to go on to CPS. It doesn't really matter which one at this point. Nicker with the damage off to the side there on top of Kessel and Spades. The level 20 is still not enough to provoke a win opportunity, however. And it looks like it will live to see another day. There's that drill again. You throw down the drill, you just run away from it, and you live to see another day because nothing's going to hurt you. ADRD, I think, got hit by an owl. He's still top. He's still able to grab it. And this means that, I guess, ETC is about to become the dragon. Well, as he was definitely thinking of it. We don't have an Abathur top anymore. Low's going to come up here, but here comes Joe. And Joe has had Low's number all day, every game that he's had. The stun is not going to hit. Low is actually going to throw down that level 20 Metamorphosis. He's going to look for the kill. Low is still alive, would you believe? The stun's coming out from Uther. They're now trying to keep ADRD and the Illidan from going down, but the Sergeant Hammer is going to be the answer. ADRD is about to lose that clone, but there goes the Stitches. Spades is about to drop. Benediction will not be enough. The body blocks on Low are enough, and over the wall, Joe gets the kill. And that is a 5-man wipe, and that is 100% game over as Gamers2 can just walk right through the double keeps with those stuns, with those heals, with the team comps of legends. I'm really, really happy I got to see Abathur this match. And double Illidan with that 25% attack speed. That is good game, well played, as the first seeding points will be awarded here to Gamers2 over Fnatic in this best of 3. Congratulations, guys.